Welcome to Frame by Frame, the show where we step inside the movies that build worlds. I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Ben. And today we're packing our briefcases, loading our totems, and going deep. Not just one level, but maybe 3, 4, or even into the infinite expanse of Limbo. We are, of course, talking about Christopher Nolan's 2010 masterpiece, Inception.
Ben, this is a film that's more than just a story. It feels like a piece of architecture, and that's really the perfect place to start. The concept of architecting a dream.
Yeah.
When Cobb first approaches Ariadne, he's not just looking for a dreamer, he's hiring an architect. What does that even mean in this context?
It's such a stunningly original idea. In Nolan's world, dreams aren't these random, hazy sequences our brains conjure up. They are designed, constructed spaces. The architect's job is to build a world, a maze, that feels completely real to the person whose mind they're infiltrating.
Right.
But it has to be a maze to contain and control the subject's subconscious, which manifests as projections.
And Ariadne's first lesson is so telling. Cobb asks her to draw a maze that takes a minute to solve. She draws a standard grid. He shows her a circular, seemingly endless one and says, like this. It's a foundational shift in thinking. She's not just drawing a map, she's learning to manipulate the physics of a mental space. It's what allows her to literally fold Paris in half. She's becoming a god and her own creation.
It's a beautiful and terrifying power. And Nolan uses this architectural language visually in such a clever way. Each level has a distinct color palette and feel.
Yeah.
Level 1, the rainy city, is gritty and grounded. Level 2, the hotel, is sleek, minimalist, almost sterile. Then level 3, the snow fortress, feels like this epic, isolated Bond villain's lair. It's masterful environmental storytelling that helps us, the audience, keep track of where and, more importantly, when we are.
Which brings us to the rules. Any well-built world needs a set of physics, and the dream world is no exception. Let's start with totems.
Totems, your personal reality check. A small object with a unique physical property, Arthur's loaded die, Ariadne's hollowed-out bishop, that only you understand.
Right.
But here's the twist that I think gets overlooked. Cobb uses Mal's totem, the spinning top. Can he truly trust an object that wasn't his to begin with?
I've always held the theory that his real totem is his wedding ring. If you watch closely, he only wears it when he's dreaming. In every scene that's supposedly in the real world, his finger is bare. To me, that's a far more powerful and personal indicator than the top. It's tied directly to his guilt and memory of Mao.
That is a fantastic point, and it makes the ending even more compelling. But before we get there, we have to discuss the engine that drives the whole plot. Time dilation. 5 minutes in reality is an hour in the dream.
Yeah.
And it compounds exponentially. A week in level 1 becomes months in level 2 and nearly a decade in level 3. This isn't just a cool gimmick. It's what creates the insane high-wire tension of the heist.
And it leads to the film's most haunting concept, Limbo. Unconstructed dream space, a shared plane of raw, infinite subconscious. Cobb explains that if you die in a heavily sedated dream, you don't wake up. Your mind is trapped there. It's a mental purgatory. The film shows us the city Cobb and Mal built over 50 years there, a crumbling metropolis by the sea. It's constructed from their shared memories. It's beautiful, but it's a cage. Right.
It's what drove Mal to believe reality wasn't real anymore. Limbo isn't terrifying because of monsters. It's terrifying because you can lose yourself and forget what's real.
And the only way out is the kick, that perfectly synchronized jolt, the sensation of falling that ripples up through the layers to wake you. The complexity of that final sequence, the van driving off the bridge, the hotel elevator cables exploding, the fortress collapsing,
Wow.
all timed perfectly across different compounding time streams.
Wow.
It's still one of the most brilliantly executed set pieces in cinema.
And it's a symphony of practical effects. Nolan's team actually built that enormous 100-foot-long rotating hotel hallway. That's Joseph Gordon-Levitt being thrown around for real, fighting projections on the walls and the ceiling.
Yep.
Nolan's famous dedication to practical effects is what makes these impossible, physics-defying scenes feel so visceral and tangible.
They built a real-life paradox. And that brings us to the ultimate paradox of the film, the ending, the spinning top.
Ooh.
Does it fall?
The most debated final shot of the 21st century. For years, I was obsessed. I turned the volume way up, convinced I could hear it begin to wobble and clatter just before the cut to black. And that meant he was in reality.
And I'd argue the other side. His children are wearing almost the exact same clothes and haven't aged significantly.
Okay, yeah.
And there's that compelling fan theory that the entire movie is Cobb's own Inception, that the heist isn't for Fisher at all. It's a dream orchestrated by Miles to allow Cobb to confront his guilt about Mal, achieve catharsis, and finally allow himself to go home.
That's a fantastic theory because it makes the whole film his emotional journey. But ultimately, I think what Nolan himself has said is the real key. He said the point is not whether the top falls. The point is that Cobb walks away. He hears his children's voices, sees their faces, and he doesn't wait to see the result. He has chosen his reality. He's free.
And isn't that the ultimate inception? Nolan plants an idea in our heads. Is it real or a dream? And we, the audience, debate it for over a decade.
Yeah.
He makes us the final subject. In many ways, the film is a metaphor for filmmaking itself. Cobb is the director, Ariadne is the production designer, Eames is the actor, Saito is the studio executive funding it all. They are creating a shared dream to evoke an emotion and plant an idea.
Exactly. It's a film about making films, disguised as a sci-fi heist thriller.
Yes, that's the genius of it. It operates on so many levels, just like the dreams themselves. It's a technical marvel, an emotional gut punch, and a philosophical puzzle box all at once.
So after all this time, the emotional journey is the real destination. He got his happy ending, and in that moment, that's the only reality that matters to him.
Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. If the film's central point is that Cobb chooses his reality over knowing the truth, what does that say about our own desire as an audience to have a definitive answer?